Everybody has a heritage. What you did yesterday is history. The 150-year project has been around for a good couple of years now. Obviously, it was the archive that first alerted the business to the fact that it was 150 years. Without an archive, perhaps anniversaries could slip. We can indicate if a branch, or in this case, a business, has a major anniversary coming up. So then it was a question of how we tackled that, and so the business got together a steering group to look at what we wanted to do and how we wanted to celebrate it. I think the whole interest around 150 is built up around stories. Not many people are very interested in numbers. So what you need are stories. And what I was asked to come up with was a series of stories about the history of the business. Things that we thought would engage both with our customers and with our suppliers. So we started looking at things that were incredibly important to us. Things like our daisy chain design, which had been produced from the mid-1960s right the way through to the early 1980s. Now that design was incredibly important. It's remarkable the number of people who will remember having that design either in their curtains or on a tea tray or some other household article that they remember back from their childhood. So that was something that we knew would resonate with our customers, and that was one of the easy choices to make. We knew that we wanted to use a design that went back to 1864. So we took the selection that were dated around that time, and the designers went through this and flicked through until they came across one that they really liked, and they chose this one. We now have the background colour with the white outline, and that's the one that you will see throughout John Lewis in lots of different merchandise, in that colour and in a grey colour this year. So that's the modern take of the 1864 design. To make the most of your business, you need to make sure people know about it. And to encourage the media to pick up on a story, you need a hook. And quite often an anniversary is an extremely good hook. Of course, it also helped that we were able to put on a fantastic exhibition at John Lewis in Oxford Street. So for people who were shopping in Oxford Street and saw some of the products on display, they could then go up and walk through the exhibition and see how some of them came to be. Things relating to people are the sort of things that I find really interesting. We have a farm down in Hampshire. We've got a beautiful album with lots of snapshots of the farm as it was in the 1930s. You know, they're prize-winning pigs and people out riding, the local milkman with his milk float. All those sorts of things really epitomise a time gone by. People come here sometimes to take inspiration from the designs because of our fantastic textile collection. So we'll get groups of buyers coming down selecting designs for future seasons. This is S761, which is known as the Titanic design. As you can see, this was picked out by the White Star Line to be used on SS Titanic. This piece of fabric here is what was made from that original design, and this was the printer's fent, as they call it, the test piece of fabric, which was then used to persuade the White Star Line that this was indeed what they wanted to use in the staterooms. And this is the only piece of Titanic fabric that's not at the bottom of the Atlantic. We offer as a service the opportunity for people to license these designs. So a supplier came to us and asked us if they could use that design, and that went back into production in time for the centenary of the sinking of the Titanic. So now we have a new piece of Titanic fabric, which is this one here, which, as you can see, this is the modern rendition of the very old traditional Titanic fabric. Universities are incredibly important. Not only do archive users, or are archive users quite often academics, but also academics know where other archives are, and we can work together in partnership. We can set up projects together, we can take things forward together, and sometimes a business approach is very different from an academic approach, but it broadens the scope available for both the students, the academics and the archivists. Finding something that's previously not known is always a great find in any archive, and we have lots of things, I'm sure, still waiting to be discovered. The archive gives you the ability to take something and show that you are a credible business, that you have been around for a long time, that you still have the same trading values. You can demonstrate what you intend to do in the future by using the past and showing how you can take that forward. I think that's incredibly important, particularly in a market where people are relying on and look very much to the reputation and the heritage of a business. I think anybody who has got a past, who wants to keep their past and wants to use the resources that they've got, would be mad not to do it. Why wouldn't you keep your archives? You know, it's only a small amount of storeroom space, and if you keep them well, you can make huge use of them and they'll be of great value to you in the future.